Hi guys, it's me, the Witch of Boise, here to do another Pick a Card reading. Today's reading is going to be signs when your soulmate is coming. So I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be some really good information and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So before I begin, I first want to do a thank you to my friend Alan for the music, for the background music, and also that this is a general read. So if it resonates with you, yes, I'm super stoked. If it doesn't resonate with you, well, I'm sorry. Also, since this is a soulmate, soulmates don't necessarily mean that they are romantic, but I do have romance cards that are in here. And also that when I do a romance reading, I do a default reading to a female about a male. So pronouns are interchangeable. So he's can be she, she's can be he's, he, she, whatever's going on in your life. So let's get started. So we have number 1, and it is this stone. Very cool. And then number 2 is this stone. Awesome. And then number 3 is this stone. Very cool. All right, guys. 1, 2, or 3. Pick a card, any card. We're going to start with number 1. All right, we're going to put that little guy right there. And the first thing I'm going to pull is the Black Panther. So Black Panther is about embracing the unknown. So with that, this is signs. So look for panthers, look for Black Panthers, look for the movie Black Panther. I mean, it's certain things like that that are going to start to come up and really show themselves to you. So Black Panther is a big one. Okay. Then you have the Knight of Cups. You have Page of Wands. You have Page of Swords. You have Justice. You have the Hermit. You have the Tower. You have the World. You have Page of Pentacles. And those are all of those tarot cards. So it feels like that there is going to be some romance that's coming in. There is that proposal. So think of that like anything that is like, and it's not necessarily like a proposal, but if someone's asking you to go out, to go dancing, to go things like that, start taking them up, start getting those proposals. Things are going to start happening. There's a lot of messages coming here because you have almost all of the pages on here, and pages are messages. So there's the Wands, which is creativity. This is doing whether you're involved in hobbies or this is at work. You have the Page of Swords, which I feel this is more of a message of delay. So this isn't going to be something that happens right away. So this is just building up and trying to get things that are building up to this moment when the soulmate is coming. That's why you need to start getting yourself out there and doing stuff. With Justice, this can be a couple things where it's balancing out your life and really focusing on those scales, as well as swords. I'm getting swords because of that sword and then the Page of Swords. But this is also having to do with like the justice system. This is like court dates, maybe even jury duty, things like that are coming up. So keep that in mind. This can be like judge shows, like Judge Judy, that kind of thing. And then you have the Wizard. And the first thing that's what I'm thinking, is the Hermit, which he is a wizard. He's a wizard out in the mountains trying to search for answers. And he has that lantern. And then you have the Tower. And so that's another image with lightning and crowns. And the World, which is showing all of the seasons, 4 seasons, something of that effect. In this kind of reading, I do feel like there is a proposal coming and there's a lot of messages and you're trying to balance it out. But this Hermit is really saying that you are going to be alone without your soulmate. You are soul searching, but something big is going to happen. This is a big event that is going to change your life. And then I think that's when you're going to get this worldly feel of like, wow, this is what's happening. Okay, then you have fire, passion. So also look for fire eaters, as well as like looks like a fire eater and almost has the garb of like a luau and things like that. So keep that in mind. Fire, passion. Here's another one, which is dance, celebration. So doing something that is that gathering of people. And then new moon, promise. So this is another thing that I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I do full moon readings and new moon readings. So I highly suggest you start watching these pick a card readings when it is the new moon, and you're going to see some things that are going to be picking out, which are those symbols of promise. Then you have Morganite, which is relationship healing. And I feel like with that hermit energy, that is what you're doing right now, is that you're healing from past relationships or even current relationships. And because relationships are any ship, you know, it's not just a romantic relationship. There's a lot of healing that's going on. And that Black Panther's totally looming on like, here's some little tidbits, but I'm not going to tell you how it ends. And then you have the Herkimer diamond, and that's dreams. So make sure that you do start a dream journal. Then you have Gaybo, and Gaybo is all about balance, justice, and judgment and equality. We just were talking about that. That's your justice card. How cool is that? And then also, since this is a ruin, make sure that you're looking for X signs. Then you have Freya, and what she is a symbol of birth and death. It's circles and cycles. Its feminine power is different, but equal to masculine power. So it is all about that balancing and cycles. And I feel like with the balancing, it comes back to this justice. So this is a big deal. This is also Libra energy. So keep that in mind as well. Oops. Okay. Then you have Artemis, which is guardian. This has a deer in the background and fire. So this is reissuing that fire symbol as well. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. Then you have Anuga, easy does it. This has a rainbow and looks like a dove. So make sure that that is also a part of these symbols. Easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. So this is really reiterating that this is not going to be tomorrow. This is going to be a time, there is going to be a delay in when this soulmate is coming into your life. So it's best to just keep focusing on yourself, really have that passion and celebration of dance, and just have fun. And like everything is going to fall into place. You have that perfect timing. Then you have 12th house, which is escape. And I feel like shell and moons are going to be a part of your symbols. Now with escape, I feel like this is going to, like, you're trying to escape this being single and being alone, and I totally understand that. And you know what, you just have to embrace it. And it's going to eventually happen, but you just have to embrace it. And I feel like that's another thing that just needs to keep being reiterated. Now, escape too can also be an escape room. So again, when that like proposal to go out and whatnot, start doing stuff like that, because you never know. You never know. Then you have Aquarius. I know. So this soulmate can be an Aquarius, or you are an Aquarius. This can also be a time frame too. It could be next year at Aquarius time. So keep that in mind. And then you also got Pisces, I believe. And there's that reiterating that shell and the spiral. This can also be that time frame, the Pisces time frame, or it can be that your partner or yourself's zodiac. And then for your last card, which is the romance angels card, it says this could be the one. So you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So this could be something where you've met them in passing. I don't feel like you really do know this person. I think that you've met, and you might have met at a party or something, or just briefly. But this person's going to be coming into your life as a romantic soulmate partner. This is a really cool read, guys, and make sure that you do like and subscribe. And guess what? We are on to number 2. Okay, number 2. Look at that cutie. Put him right there. Okay, so you got Badger. So Badger is all about aggressiveness. This is an aggressive animal. They are mean. They are mean mother effers, but they're part of, nature and the world and whatnot. So we have to treat them with respect, but they're very aggressive. And that's kind of the starting energy, is this really aggressive energy. So let's keep going. So we have 3 of Swords, Queen of Swords, 10 of Swords, Knight of Swords, Death, 4 of Swords, and 4 of Cups. Okay, so right off the bat, if you haven't guessed, a really great symbol to look for are swords, because most of your cards are swords. I feel like, at least just by looking at these, another symbol would be horses as well. And that's riding horses. Wow, this is a really, I can see why there's an aggressive energy. There's heartbreak. It looks like you're coming off of heartbreak really stoic and really strong. And then something happened and a death. Like this isn't the death card. When I talk about actual physical death, it's usually the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords to me, by my own personal experience, is a way of signifying death. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a physical death, but I feel like there was betrayal, and then you're standing strong, you're moving on, and then it's just like even more stabs in the back. Like it just feels like it was beaten to death. It's just a really vicious thing that has happened to you. But there's something that is coming in quick with that Knight of Swords. And it's an ending to this. So right now is about resting. Right now is about resting and recouping and really honestly healing from what has happened, because honestly, like, these are the cards you never want in a reading, which is the 3 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. Something super devastating has happened. And I honestly think, because you're watching this, that you're wanting to be happy again. And like, I don't even mean that in like a weird way, but it just feels like you have just gone through the ringer. And I feel like you are having that residual funk about it with that Four of Cups, and it's just like it feels really hard to move on, and it feels like you have been healing and you've been really trying to get over this, and you have in a lot of way, because you have that Death card. That Death card has ended that, and if it hasn't ended, it's coming very soon because of that Knight of Swords. But rest and stability right now is going to be your friend, but there is a funk there that you keep looking back, but you can't. It's dead. It has died. You need to move forward. Then you have spring equinox. How, like, I'm getting the chills. When I pulled these cards, I'm like, whoa, like this message is intense. So you are going through a rebirth right now. You have a death. You are going through it. Spring equinox, rebirth. So think of spring, things that are associated with spring. There's a rabbit. There's a butterfly. Just think of that kind of thing. And those are symbols that are going to help you and start to come to you when that soulmate is coming. Fog, veiled. So I feel like fog, when it, like in the foggy mornings and things like that, and then also mountains and trees. So those are other signs to look for. You have Labradorite, and that is take action. So it feels like you need to rest, but you also need to take action. You can't just rest forever. So, I feel like that is that's a thing that I'm telling you. Like, this is just a message. But with the Labradorite, keep your eye out for stones like that. And even with like Labrador, like dogs, Labradors, things like that. And then you have ruby, and that's shine. So think of rubies are a symbol, and anything that's shiny, sun, those are going to be really good symbols. And it feels like it is like more of like this optimistic, because there is such a gross previous stuff that has happened. It's just like, ugh, it's foggy on me, and no pun intended with the fog, but it's just ugh. So it just feels like all of these symbols that when the soulmate's coming are going to come with you, and they're going to be really positive. Then you have Boji stones, and that's balance. So think of balancing things, scales, anything that has to do with balance, and that could be yoga as well. Just think of balances, as well as Boji stones are male and female stones. I think the male stones are the rough ones, and the female stones are the smooth ones. So you want to make sure that you are also balancing that feminine and masculine energy. So keep that in mind as symbols. Fairy stone, which is fertility. So fertility, anything that you think of as a fertility, I think of like obviously pregnancy, anything that kind of looks like a womb, a womb. And I also say fairies as well. So anything that is fairy related, anything that has to do with fertility, so pregnancy, and womb-like images and symbols. And then you have the Haga-Lars, and that is hailstones. Current difficulties may require major changes. So this is another symbol of hail. He's also carrying a sword, so that's really emphasizing that sword energy as well. Oh, and then before I forget, these are runes, so this is another symbol as well. It almost looks like an H. And then you have now this, and this is a rune that comes from the word need fire. So fire is one of those symbols, as well as its rune symbol. This is a rune that also is that new love is coming into your life. So this is a really good sign. You have Natoma, which is sacred space, and it's create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. This is signifying with anything that is sacred to you. So these are your symbols that you need to really jot down. What is sacred to me? What is my sacred space? And those are those symbols, and they'll start to come to you when your soulmate is coming. Now there's also these candles everywhere, and I think candles is another good symbol. They also look like they're floating. So I say Harry Potter as well. Then you have Damara, and that's guiding children. So hello, fertility, there's children, birth, things like that. And you have springtime too, and that's also another time of fertility. You're good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. And again, this is a fairy. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. So a fairy and children. And then you got the 4th house, which is roots. So that is any sort of plant root systems, things like that. And then the lunar eclipse, which is change. So change is coming, and make sure that you check out the moon phases, and anything that is like that, that is another symbol. And then last but not least, you got engagement. And that is your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Very cool. With engagement, that is another symbol as well. So engagement parties, things like that, make sure that you go, because I know they're not fun, and especially when you're single, you're just like, thanks for rubbing it in. But you can meet some really great people, and it's just love, you know, you're celebrating love. So that's a really great thing. So look for those really great symbols. Make sure that you do a like and subscribe to this, and we are on to number 3. Look at that cutie. All right. So you got Raccoon, and Raccoon is a generous protector. So Raccoon is your first symbol right off the bat. Then you have Karma. You have 5 of Pentacles. You have King of Swords. Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. So karma's in play right now. It feels really barren, really cold, really like you're out in the cold. But you're finding your king, you're finding your queen, and ultimately you're gonna live that Emperor life. So right off the bat, I say flowers are one. You have the wand, which has flowers, and then there's sunflowers there, as well as a cat. And then you have flowers that are over here on the Emperor side. There's also an ankh, so keep that one as a sign, as well as a falcon. And here's another flower as well, peeking out of the snow. So those are some symbols to look out to see when your soulmate's coming. Okay, got river, movement, desert, vision quest, ceremony, invocation, island, solitude, and dream time, creation. So it's time to dust off that dream journal and start to look at your dreams and what your subconscious is saying. There's visions, things like that, and these kind of go hand in hand. Deserts, desert creatures, that can be another symbol. but these are going hand in hand with me, that you're going to start to see visions in your dreams, and they're going to really start up really vividly when your soulmate is coming. So make sure that you write them down and start looking at those symbols too. River is another one. So this is just water and movement and just going with the flow, man. Again, with water, with the island as well. So island living, anything tropical. Oh, I love it. And then with invocation, wow, I never even noticed this. Okay, so with this, I would say candles, snakes, and then crystals as well. Okay. Tiger's eye, courage. So tiger, first of all, right off the bat, and then tiger eye as a stone. Look for those. And then courage, anything that has that, the cowardly lion who finds courage, things like that that are going to start to pop up. That's one of those signs. And then the awakening crystal, and that's emotional healing. So crystals are another one. But emotional healing, I do feel like there is emotional healing going on right now. That's why there is solitude. That's why you have this wintry, barren background. There is emotional healing happening because you are alone and something has happened in the past. I'm almost kind of getting an X vibe because you have karma. But let's keep on going. Okay, then you have Isa, which is pause. It's ice, frozen rivers, and slow down, which is kind of contradictive, but also kind of creepy because you have a river as well. So I feel like there is movement that's going on, but right now, currently, is a pause. This is a rune, so that is its symbol. Keep that in mind as well. And snow, I would say. Snow and egg. Yes. Those are symbols to look for. But I feel like right now you're wanting everything in front of you and just now. And it's one of those things where it's like, slow down. Slow down, buttercup. Then you have the Iwas. And that is yew tree and death and new beginnings. Things like that. As well as statues and axes, arrows. Then you have ride ho, which is journey, be present, and roll with the punches. And this is that rune symbol. And with Iwas, that is that rune symbol as well. Okay, Ma'at, which is fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair, just manner. So this is Libra energy. There is a dove, as well as this is Egyptian symbols. This is Egyptian goddess, so you need to be on the lookout for that. Ishtar, boundaries. And it's love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. So this is another one where you just want to really focus on those boundaries. Anything that symbolizes boundaries, that's what's going to come up as a symbol. Then you have 11th house, which is friends. That can be the show friends. That can be your friends. You have the 9th house, which is faith. What do you consider faith? As well as a Ouija board. Hand, palm reading. Then you have moon and soul. This is for moon phases, as well as soul, soulfulness. Super Soul Sunday with Oprah, as well as soul food. Things like that. And then part of fortune, increase. So fortune, increasing, manifestation, this symbol. And then lastly, I totally feel like this is like an ex that is your soulmate. And I feel like you guys have like spent time apart, a significant amount of time apart. This isn't just like, well, we broke up like 3 months ago. This is years. Like literally, this feels like years. And it feels like there is something that is going on in the karmic aspect. And so your romance card is release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. And it feels like in order to get this ex back into your life, it is time to release them. And I feel like you haven't released some ex. This doesn't have to be that same ex that you might be thinking of. This can be another one. But it's just releasing the past and releasing past relationships, releasing the hurt that has happened. I do feel like, at least with karma and then the Five of Pentacles, something did happen. And you're very protective over it. You're very protective of this relationship. But I feel like it's time to stop protecting it in the sense that it needs to be released. So I think right now is to focus on releasing that. Another symbol before we go is angels. Is literally angels. All right, guys, well, make sure that you do like and subscribe to this. I hope all of it resonated with you. Please comment below and let me know if it did resonate with you. I love to read your comments, and I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting me and my channel and my Instagram and my Facebook and my Twitter, and I just appreciate you guys so much. And I hope that you have a great rest of the day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys! Bye! Bye-bye!